Compair Taureau and Jean Malin by Dorlis Aguillard. Read by Frank Blissett. When Jean Malin was small, he became an orphan, and he did not know where to go or what to do. One day he saw a rich lady who was passing in her beautiful carriage, and he asked her to take him with her. As the lady saw that he was a pretty little boy, and that he appeared to be very smart, she asked him how old he was. Jean Malin could not say, but he answered the lady that he had heard his mother say that he was born when the peach trees were in bloom the year the snow fell. The lady took him in her fine carriage to her house to be her messenger boy and to wait at table. The little fellow soon began to love the lady as if she were his mother, and he was jealous of a rich gentleman who came to court the lady every day and wished to marry her. But I must tell you that the gentleman was a bull who could change himself into a man in the daytime to come and court the lady, and in the evening he became a bull again to go and eat grass in the park. Jean Malin had noticed that when the gentleman was near his lady-love, there was no bull in the prairie, and when the bull was in the prairie, there was no lover in the parlor. "I will have to watch," said Jean Malin. "There is something strange which I don't understand." He watched, but he took good care not to let Compair Taureau see him. One day, early in the morning, when Jean Malin went to get some wood to light his fire, he saw Compair Taureau on his knees, and saying, "Boar, madjam, fat madjam, dajem, dejara, dejara." And then, all at once, the bull became a man and went to see his lady. Ah, I tell you, Jean Malin was afraid. He shivered as if he was very cold. That very morning the lover took breakfast with the lady, and Jean Malin waited on them. He ran sometimes on one side, sometimes on the other, as a butterfly, he was so frightened. When they asked him for a plate, he gave bread on a fork, and the lady scolded him. She told him, when the lover left, that she would send him away if he did not do better, and she wanted to know what was the matter with him. "I know you don't like my lover, but why? What did he do to you? He always treated you well." "Well, I will tell you, mistress. I am afraid, and if you knew what I know, you would be afraid also, and you would not let that man enter your house." "What is the matter? Tell me immediately, or I shall whip you and put you out for lagniappe." Jean Malin began to cry, and he said to the lady, "Know then that your lover is the great bull which is in the park, and that he can change himself into a man and become a bull again to go and eat grass." The lady was very angry, and wanted to beat Jean Malin, but he said, "Mistress, listen to me. When your lover will come again, if I don't prove to you that all I say is true, you can send me away and do what you please with me." "All right," said the lady, "but remember that you will pay dear for all your lies." A few days after that, the lover came. He was dressed in great style, and Jean Malin said to himself, "I will see the fun today," because he knew what to say to make the lover become a bull again. While they were dining, the lady kept looking at Jean Malin to see what he would do. When the gentleman took the pretty fingers of the lady to kiss them, Jean Malin, who was pouring wine into her glass, said the words he had heard the bull utter. Well, if you ever heard a big noise, it was on that day. The hat, the trousers, the spectacles, the coat, all the clothes of the gentleman fell on the floor, and he was changed into a bull in the dining room. He upset the table, broke the plates, the dishes, the glasses, the bottles. He broke down the glass door to escape and ran into the prairie. "Well, are you satisfied?" said Jean Malin. "Yes," said the lady. "You rendered me a great service, and I shall always treat you as my son." "You believe that this is all? Oh, no. You will see how Jean Malin got along with the bull which had sworn to kill the fellow that had betrayed him. The boy was always afraid, and whenever he went out he would look around to see if the bull was not there. One day he went to see Compair Lapin to ask his advice, and told him in what a bad fix he was. Compair Lapin said, "Listen to what I am going to tell you. Go into the woods and look for an owl's nest. Take 3 eggs on a Friday at sunset and bring them to me for me to charm them. Then you will do all you want with Compair Taureau." Jean Malin found the 3 owl eggs and carried them to Compair Lapin, who made his gris-gris on them with the milk of a black goat, and told Jean Malin what to do. When Jean Malin was going back to the house of his mistress, he looked around for the bull, for he felt a little anxious, in spite of what Compair Lapin had said. There was the bull, bellowing and looking furious. "Come," said Jean Malin, "you will see how I am going to fix you." Compair Taureau galloped straight at him, and Jean Malin climbed up a tree, for he thought it was more prudent. In 1 minute, like a squirrel, he was at the top of the tree, and the bull stood underneath. "Now I have you at last. You will have to come down." And he began to strike at the tree with his horns. Jean Malin laughed at him, and the bull was so angry that he knelt down and said the words to become a man. He immediately was changed into a man with an axe in his hand. "Come down, don't let me cut the tree, for I will kill you, little rogue." "Cut, Compair Taureau. I want to see what you can do." The bull struck with his axe. Gip, gop. You might have seen the tree tremble at every blow. Then Jean Malin threw one of the owl eggs on Compair Taureau's shoulder, and his arm fell down on the ground with the axe. The man picked up the axe with the other hand and, gip, gop, on the tree. Jean Malin threw the second egg on the remaining arm of the man, and the arm fell on the ground. He picked up the axe with his teeth. Gip, gop, again. "Now," said Jean Malin, "I will finish you." He threw his third egg on the man's head, and the head fell on the ground. The arms, the legs, the head, the body of the man began to wriggle like a snake in the fire. Then Jean Malin said, "I want you to become a bull again." He said the magic words, and the head and the arms jumped to the body, and the man became a bull again and galloped away in great haste. From that time he never worried Jean Malin again, for his gris-gris had not been as strong as that of Compair Lapin. That was Compair Taureau and Jean Malin by Dorlis Aguillard. Read by Frank Blissett.